Our next speaker, you probably know him from all different walks of life. You certainly don't know the first thing about him, probably don't know the second thing about him, and the third thing about him is actually brilliant, and I wish I'd done it. The first thing is that he once turned up at a Park Lane hotel as a 6'1" drag queen because he thought he'd been invited to a drag-themed party, but he'd actually been invited to a stag party. He has a phobia of creased boxer shorts to the point where he has to iron them. And this is absolutely incredible. He once spilt Coca-Cola on Margaret Thatcher. Some of you may know him as Paul Scriven, some of you may know him as the leader of the council of our city, but tonight it will be PJ. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Johnny, and I can now see the front page of the Star tomorrow. Well done. Okay. My secrets are out. Okay. Ready? Ready when you are. Okay, go ahead. I just want to talk about why we entered the City of Culture, what it means to the city, and my perspective as leader of the council, why I've been so enthusiastic in supporting the sector that many of you work in, many of you play in, and many of you help Sheffield actually hit world and national headlines. And therefore I want to talk about why things are created and made in Sheffield. Culture, you're probably going to expect something really profound now in terms of this definition. Wrong. It just reminds me what I'm talking about, actually, because I've done so many speeches today. But really, this is the real essence of culture. It's about people coming together and using their skill and imagination to create things, to create environments and people working together. And it's really important in Sheffield and me that this is about everyone. Everyone actually is part of culture, everyone can be part of culture, everyone is part of culture. It's just that some people don't define it. It's not about highbrow, it's not about lowbrow, it's about people actually creating things, using their imagination and adding to the city. A city that delivers big events. We all know that some people would see culture now maybe as tram lines or maybe as events like this, which are held in Don Valley, but actually it's a city that delivers, whether it be in Sharrow Festival, whether it be on a national or international stage. We've got a history of delivering. It can be world class, but we don't just mean the kind of things like Vivian Westwood which come to our museums. It can be, as I say, what school children do in Sharrow, just as world class as actually the big things which draw in large numbers. And that's the great thing about Sheffield, that our culture is world class. We are a city of culture, and we actually use things. And our stage is set. It's not just about the Crucible. But why don't we use our imagination, as some of you probably do? Why don't we use the Seven Hills as an art gallery? Why don't we use the Seven Hills as a photo gallery? Why don't we use the Seven Hills as a recording studio, etc.? I think we've got to start using the natural environment as much as the built environment to actually promote our culture and make it Sheffield. There's got to be a focus on people and not buildings. It's actually people, by coming together and networking, actually thinking and bouncing off ideas, which I think really create the uniqueness about Sheffield's culture. We've already got a cluster of people who work in creative and digital within Sheffield, but people everywhere is important. And where is culture going? We've already mentioned digital. How does culture evolve and shape and differ? And the great thing about Sheffield, it's got a real authentic and raw edge and keeps on the front of things. And my challenge to the city is, how do we keep doing that, particularly in the digital age, and actually redefining what culture is, and actually defining how we shape culture. Great art. And it's not just about the art of Hockney, or it's not just about the art of Warhol or anyone. When I walk down the moor and I see some of the things that have now been put on the hoardings, that's great art, that's culture. That shows a different type of culture, which is really important. We just have to embrace and celebrate as much as things. And the great thing is DIY culture. And that's why we actually were defined within our City of Culture beat to have DIY culture. It's not just downloading, it's uploading. It's not just watching, it's participating. It's not just actually about listening, it's also about recording. And I think we've got to ensure that everybody gets that chance to do that. And no, this isn't a council meeting, I'll absolutely assure you. What this is really showing that even at a local level, children at a young age, in terms of the Children's Festival, actually create the artistic and the cultural embodiment of Sheffield, and it's really important that young people are encouraged to actually share their uniqueness. And the thing that really annoys me is when people say to me, not many people in Sheffield, what did culture ever do for me? And it's really important in terms of the last video that we were looking at. You know, what did the Romans do for me? What do people in the creative and digital industries do for me? What do they do for this city? And I think we really need to be loud and proud about what you actually contribute to this city. First of all, the economy. Over £1 billion, your industry actually comes back into this city. Real jobs, real economy, helping the health service, helping education. It's really important that your pounds actually do contribute to this city, and you've got to shout up about that, because in the spending cuts that are coming, as the previous thing said, it's really important. It actually helps young people aspire, not just attain but aspire. It actually helps them in education. Even if we didn't have art and culture and imagination, just think what it would mean for education. It's absolutely central to educating young people and making them aspire, and that's why I see culture and art just as important. It brings people together of different backgrounds. By sharing dance, by sharing song, by sharing literature, by actually pictures. It's a great issue for cultural cohesion in a way that the formal things wouldn't bring together. So you actually make this city stronger by bringing people together in things that they wouldn't normally do and in spaces where they couldn't normally share. No, that isn't me or Mrs. Thatcher. It actually makes you ponder, chew the cud. It really stretches your imagination. It allows you to look and see things differently, which makes this city evolve. It's innovative. And Sheffield's got a history of being innovative. And actually through art and through creativity, we actually do that. Now, that's not my 20th slide. That's right, it's gone dark. I missed a slide. But anyway, look, it also sets goals. It gives us goals and it makes us score as a city. And it actually means that we can and we are world class. But not world class just because we lift the World Cup, but world class actually because our people get involved, we encourage our people to get involved, and Sheffield really is a great city of culture. And I just want to keep people, whether it be the young person in school, or whether it be some of you who are actually at the top of your game, actually scoring those goals and keeping Sheffield on the map. I just think that it does contribute a lot. It is a great city, and what you contribute helps to the life of the city. And I'm very proud of that. Thank you. This has all gone wrong, so this is improvisation. That should have been before. What I wanted to say was clearly, wherever we go, whatever the destination is, there is a long road to go, and you actually create what the destination is, and it changes quite a lot, and that's about imagination. It's about you making this city think differently. You actually rocking to foundations some of the preconceived ideas that we have, and this city would not have evolved, would not be where it is, without the creative, digital and arts sectors and community and professionals coming together to actually make people like me think differently and make other citizens feel differently, and actually keeping us raw, on the edge and innovative, and that's really important. I'm sure some of these are going on for longer than 20 seconds. And I just want to come back and say what I said about 20 seconds ago. I'm proud of the city, I'm proud of what you do. You've got to keep us actually thinking differently, actually also talking about what you contribute other than art, in terms of the economy, in terms of education, cohesion, etc. And as I just said, I'm very proud of what you do, and actually I'm very proud that this city is raw, is authentic, and that you do contribute a lot. Thank you.